All right, so now we're down into week 41, stairs and ramps.
Yeah, it's a nice color though.
So today I'm just going to talk a bit about stairs and the basics of stairs and how you get them working in your house and so on. So let's just jump straight into it. What we got? One eye. So this is where we left off the house last week, and if we make a little section box here, we can go and have a look inside it, and you can see we've got the ground floor walls are coming all the way through, but we've got no walls in the upper floor yet. So that's kind of where we're at. So I'll switch that off again. Now, before we get into getting into the house and getting into like a typical house stairs or whatever, I'm going to do some other stairs outside the house just to have something to work on. So I'm going to go into the ground floor plan, because it's usually a good idea to start drawing your stairs from the level you want to draw them from to the level you want to draw them to, and that's the first rule: start on the level you want to start on. But the next thing is we go to the stair tool, which is like this. There's two options in there. One is stair by component, the other is stair by sketch. In the first semester, we're not going to touch stair by component at all, because it's more useful for things like office buildings or large apartment buildings or stuff like that. We're going to do stair by sketch because that gives you total control over the shape of the stairs, and it's better for unusually shaped stairs rather than stairs that are repetitive over many levels or whatever. So we're going to use stair by sketch in the first semester. So when I click stair by sketch, you get this little modify panel here. You can see it's gone green at the top. That means it's active. So if ever you see anything green at the top of your Revit menu, it means this is an active command. So we've got a run, we've got a boundary, and we've got a riser. And a run is very simply a flight of stairs. So if I click on run and I make sure that it's a straight line, I can start anywhere I want in the view and start drawing a stairs. And you can see that at the bottom here, it's actually calculating. You can just about see it, but you can probably see it on your screen, how many risers I've drawn and how many are left. So it's actually calculating the number of steps that's required to get from ground floor plan, which is over here, to first floor plan. It's calculating according to the building regulations what is the required number of steps. Okay? So I just draw a very simple one, a straight stairs first. I'm just going to keep drawing until you can see that the rectangle stops getting any bigger. It means I've just drawn a straight stairs. If I click up here, then it's drawn something that looks a little bit like that. And it says at the bottom, 20 risers created, 0 remaining. So we know it's gone from ground floor plan to first floor plan, and it stops exactly at that level. And it's done it according to the building regulations. So if I'm just going to get a 3D view going at the same time, over here we can see we've got a kind of a sketch of the stairs and it's on the ground. If we went into edit type before we accept it, if we say edit type and we have an option for calculation rules, and if we edit that, we have the calculation rules for the stairs. Now these rules are set when you install Revit with the Danish setting, so they're installed with the setting for the Danish BR10 building regulations. So you don't need to worry about the calculation of the angle. I went into, first of all, you select the stairs, or you don't need to select it because you haven't cancelled it yet. You just go to edit type over here. It's exactly the same like editing a wall or anything like that, and then go into calculation rules. You can change the calculation rules. If you click this button here, you can say you can actually modify the calculation rules to whatever you want. But at the moment, it's set to twice the riser plus 1 multiplied by the depth is equal to 640, which is a standard setup over here. So press OK, and OK because we're not going to change anything. And once we accept this, you can see the stairs is then created in 3 dimensions. And it's both visible in the plan view with a kind of a symbol on it, which we can then grab and move out here if we want to. But it's also made in 3D view over here. Okay? I'll do it one more time. I'll do it a slightly more complex one beside it here. So let's do it. So we go to Architecture tab, go to Stairs, Stair by Sketch, and I'm going to draw a run. And a run is just a flight of stairs. So I'm going to start here. And this time I'm just going to stop after we've made 10 risers. So I've stopped, so I can click it here. And you can see that it's only made 10 risers, but it's giving us a message here. 10 risers created, 10 remaining. So it's telling us we still have 10 to go if we want to get up to the top of the next level. But we don't have to start right here. We can actually decide, well, we're going to leave a landing in here, and we're going to continue the stairs, and maybe we need to go around something. So we can actually do it like that. So the stairs has now been created like this, and if I accept that, it creates that in 3D as well with the landing and everything included. Okay, just going to hold pause there because everybody's looking a bit stressed. Okay, so now we've got this kind of slightly off-center stairs, but we can actually make it more individual than that. We don't have to leave it as a straight stairs. We can change the shape of the stairs to whatever we want. So if I go back and select this stairs again, I can go up, and then we have exactly the same as if you're editing a floor or anything. We have the edit sketch command. So edit sketch. So I'll do that again. So select, and then come up to edit sketch. Select that. And it'll turn it back into a sketch of the stairs, a drawing of the stairs. So then we have what it's showing here is the green is what's called a boundary, and the black is a riser. And you see they correspond to these two buttons up here, a boundary and a riser. And what the green effectively does is it's where you want to place the edges of the stairs and the handrails. And the black is where you want to place the steps. So we can actually move these around or do whatever we want with them. So let's say I wanted to make the stairs go like this, for example. We have the information in here. We know where the steps are going to be, and we know where the edges are going to be. So if I just accept that now, you can see it creates the stairs with the same kind of situation. I'm just going to do one more thing on that, and then I'll stop again. So I'm going to select it again, edit the sketch. This time around, I'm going to want to put some curved steps in there. So I'm going to use this start end radius arc. And I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to stop so you can get a chance to do it. I'm going to draw it from here. Oh, the mistake I'm making there is I'm using a boundary to draw. I need to use a step to draw, or a riser. So I use a riser, start end radius. So I'm going to make a step that's shaped kind of like that, and delete this one so we don't have an extra one. And riser, I'm going to do it one more time like this. Delete it. And then one more time. Oh, done it again. I need to use it with the riser. This one. Something like that. So there's a nice stairs for the Vatican or something. Accept that, and you can see that it's almost done. So there are some issues with the type of stairs we're using as well. Obviously, this type of stairs has got a maximum size of tread, and it won't allow us to go beyond that. So I'm just going to modify the type of stairs again before we go any further, just to make it so it's fully finished. Just bring it back in a little bit so it's not so crazy. Yeah, it's still taking a bite out of it, but anyway. So you get something like that. Everybody kind of there? You're very quiet today. Will I pause that, or will I just keep going? Keep going. Okay. So now we've kind of got a shape of the stairs, but if I select it, you can see on the right here the properties of it. It's a monolithic stairs, which is the type of stairs that would be cast out of concrete, or basically cast out of concrete for the most part. There isn't really much other stuff you make stairs out of. Let me just fix that projector cable. Jeez. This is getting worse. Alright, we'll have to just live with it. So it's set to a monolithic type of stairs. But if we go up here exactly as if we were changing a wall type, we can change it to a different type of stair. So I'm going to change it to a stringer stairs. And a stringer stairs is like a typical stairs you would find in a house, in a residential situation, which is made of timber, and it's got two structural elements running up the side holding the structure of the stairs together. So if I select it, I can change this type of stairs to a stringer stairs. And you can see that if I select it here and roll it around, you can see that it's actually been made in terms of almost as if it's been made out of timber, because that's the way it's set up. So those are the two basic options for stair type. We've got a monolithic stairs, which is this one here. Let me just turn on the shade there just so we can see it. And then we've got a stringer stairs, which is this one here. But there's lots of settings we can change within those as well. So let's just go through those very quickly. So if I select this here, you can see that we have a situation where the stairs is coming beyond the level of the riser. And that's called a nosing in English anyway. What's it called in Danish? Anybody know? Yeah, okay. So this is called a nosing. So you have control over how deep you want that nosing to be. So if I select this and edit it, I can go down and edit all the settings of the stairs down here. So we have, let's see what we'll do first of all. We'll do nosing. So we can change the thickness of the tread here. If I change this to, let's say, 100 and just apply it, you can see that the stair suddenly gets a lot thicker. I can change it back to 50, but let's say I want to change the nosing, the amount that the stairs projects out. I can change that by to not 1,000 but 100. Apply it, and you can see that the stairs starts to change its form. So now the stairs looks a bit like this. It's a little bit more expressive or something. But this type of stairs, it looks a bit weird with these type of side stringers, they're called. Probably more likely to be built out of steel or something like that. So what we can do is we can go into the stairs, edit the type. First of all, we can change the tread material. Let's turn it into wood. Let's just say wood. Okay. And we can, what else do we do? We can also change the nosing profile to whatever we want. And this is exactly the same as we were doing last week, where we were designing a profile for the edge of the wall or the edge of the fascia or the gutter. We can actually use that profile. If I say, let's go in here and see what we have. We still have that cornice profile from last week. So if I attach that to the stairs, let's see what that does. Yeah, okay, it looks ridiculous. But you can see that the profiles that we made have suddenly become part of the staircase. So you can see the power of those profiles is that you can use them for anything that runs in a straight line. So let's take that off again because that looks stupid. Edit type. Let's go back in and change the profile back to, we'll just change it to default. But you can make a nice little curve in a profile family and insert it into the project, and then you would have a curved profile around the front of the stairs there.
Sorry, nothing happened when I turned on the nosing.
Nothing happened.
No.
You need to give it a yeah.
Okay.
Well, tread thickness changes the thickness of the step,
Okay.
and then nosing length changes the width it projects out. Okay. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is I want to take off those stringers from the side of the stairs. So I'm going to switch off stringer 1, apply. You can see it disappears over here. And now I'm going to switch off stringer 2, apply, disappears over here. So now we've got nothing holding the stairs up, it's just floating in space. I'm going to put in some stringers in the middle. So I'm going to put in 2 stringers in the middle. And we'll just leave these settings as standard and apply. And you can see this, what's popped into the image there are these 2 internal stringers, and they could be made out of steel or something like that, which would be more likely for this type of stairs. And we can change the number of them here. I can take it down to 1 and apply, so there's just a central stringer, or we can take it up a little bit. put it up to 3. So we've got 3 of them like that, holding it up. And then with the riser, we have the option to actually switch them off, because this type of stairs, we could possibly have an open riser. So I'm going to say none, apply it, okay. And now we've got a stairs that looks something like that. Okay.
I can't, it says right string and left string, or is it close? I can't change them.
Yeah, okay. All right, so we got something like this. But we also have handrails in there. And the handrails are actually separate objects that you can design completely separately. So you can either just select them and delete them. So let's say I'm going to delete this one here, because usually in a residential situation you only need one handrail because the stairs are so narrow. Well, then we can select the other handrail, and just like all the other stuff in Revit, if you select something, you get the properties of it over here on the right. So there's a couple of handrails already set up. So we've got this one, which is called 1100 millimeters. Then we've got one called 900 millimeter pipe. If I select that, it changes the handrail to this kind of pipe-based handrail, which has got circular elements, and it's got some balustrades in there as well. So that's the type. Now let's just go into how you actually modify the type. So I'm going to select it first of all. I'm going to switch it back to the 1100 millimeter one. Select it again, and I'm going to edit the type and duplicate it. I'm going to call it test handrail. Okay. And here we have two things called rail structure and baluster placement. And these are the main ways of designing the handrail. Rail structure is basically anything that runs along, so anything that you can put your hand on that runs completely up. And the balusters are the vertical elements. Simple as that. So I can go in here and say edit, and we can see there's only one rail in this handrail structure at the moment, and it's 1100 millimeters high, and its profile is rectangular. Now, you can see here we've got profile again. So we can go in here, and if we wanted to, we could bring in our cornice again if we wanted to. So we can make a handrail that has a cornice attached to it if you ever wanted to. But what I'm trying to get at is this profile that we made for the wall can be used anywhere you want, because you can also use it in the handrail. So you can design a very nice handrail in the profile family tool, and then you can just insert it in here in the same kind of a way. So the profiles are very, very useful things to understand. So let's select the handrail again, edit the type, edit the rail structure. I'm going to take that profile off, and I'm going to change it to a circular handrail, 400 millimeters, and we'll make it a nice wood material as well. So use the same wood material as the now if I apply that, you get a kind of a wooden handrail that looks something like that. Again, you could go into your family editor and change the profile to a nice oval or whatever shape you want it to be. So let's go back into the handrail again, edit the type, and this time I'm going to add another rail. So edit the rail structure, insert, new rail, and let's just call this bottom rail. Whoops, let's get that right. Bottom rail. And we have the option to give it a height from the ground level, so I'm going to make it 200 millimeters from ground level. And I can either offset it by 25 or I can leave it where it is. But since everything is offset, let's offset it by 25 millimeters outside the stairs. And now we can choose the profile here. So let's choose the slightly narrower circular handrail that's already loaded in. And we can make the material of this, let's turn it into steel. Okay, and apply. So now you can see we've got another rail that runs along the stairs.
Alright, so saying you edited the offset, but what does that mean? If you
Yeah.
put it at 0, then what happens?
Okay, let's have a look at that. So if I select the rail over here in plan view, because it's easier to see in plan view, let's edit the type, and let's just do the whole offset here. So I'm going to offset it by 150. 150, apply. And you can see, it's easier to see in this view actually, is that the entire rail has just gone outside. So what that means is that you can draw a handrail that has, you might have a handrail that has glass running on the inside, and then it has a timber rail running alongside that that's offset by 150 millimeters, if you know what I mean. So it gives you the option to have lots of things going on at once in the handrail. Okay, and let's just cancel that for example. Let's go back here. So if I go into this again, edit type, edit rail structure. Let's say we have a top of rail, for example. Let's make this a small rail, and that's offset by -25. But let's insert a rail that's just for the hand to follow along, just to see how that works. So I'm going to put this inside, and I'm going to put this at 900 because that's an easier height for people to hold on to rather than a guarding rail. 1100 is to stop you falling over the rail, but the 900 is as a better height for it to hold as you're climbing the stairs. So we'll change that to 900, and we'll offset that in the other direction by 50, and we'll make that wood as well. Wood, and we'll make this one into the 40 millimeter circular handrail and apply that. So you can see that now we have a handrail that runs up inside. That's the offset is different. So this is offset -25, and this is offset, what did I do, plus 100 or something. So now you got the option to put as many rails in there as you want, basically. Okay.
The negative meaning away from the stairs, and the positive is into?
Sometimes depends on who's designed the family. I mean, it can get very complex. When you get very good at Revit, you can design it, and you design the actual families yourself. It depends how you set it up as to whether it works that way or another way. So you need to have it's not easy straight out of the box. It's kind of it's so modifiable that it can be complex after a while. Okay, so now we've got some handrails in there, different rails. I'm going to go back in, edit the type. And now I'm going to edit the baluster placement, and the balusters are the verticals. So let's edit that. And down here we have use baluster per tread on stairs. So it's what you get a chance to say, well, every tread, and these are treads in English speak, can have 2 balusters coming off it. So we can just switch that off if we don't care whether there's treads, that each tread has the same number of balusters. So I apply that, and it should make some changes to it. So now it's only 1 per, which is based on this distance up here. So at the top here we have main pattern, regular baluster, square baluster. Its base is the host, which is the staircase we're using. Its top is rail number 1, and if we wanted to, we could change that to the new rail. If I just do that, apply. So it stops at the same level as the new rail we've made, but that doesn't make any sense for the one we're making now, so let's bring it back up to rail number 1. And the distance from previous is 275, so we could just make that, for example, 1200 millimeters. And let's make it a circular baluster as well. And apply that. So now a baluster looks something like that. So this is kind of where you can get into making glass balusters and all that kind of stuff if you want to. And the way to make a glass baluster, I'm not going to show it right now because it is getting a bit complicated already, is to make a rail that has a profile that's the width and thickness of the glass that you want to extend up to it. That's the easiest way to do it in a simple way. But if anybody wants to do it, I'll give you a hand at your computer rather than showing on the board here. Okay. So that's that's pretty much. Let's have a look at the list of stuff here. Okay, flipping stairs. Yeah. Often you might have drawn a stairs and you realize that you've drawn it the wrong way around. So you got it in the right position and you got it the right dimensions and everything, but it's starting at the wrong end. So if you wanted this stairs, for example, to start down this end and open up as it was coming up, you can select the stairs, and just like the walls, you get an arrow that you can flip, and that'll change the stairs so it's the opposite position. So you can do all the detail work first, and then you can just flip the stairs back the other way. And that's good to know because sometimes it can get pretty frustrating. Let's just do that again. Flip it. There we go. Okay.
How did you get rid of the
Risers.
yes? No. The thing on the handle.
On the handrail.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the vertical.
The balusters. So you select the handrail, edit type, go into baluster placement.
Oh.
And all I did was I changed the distance between them, which is up here at the top.
Oh.
I changed it to 1200 millimeters, whereas before it was set to 275. And then I changed the type of baluster to a round one. Okay? I changed it from a square one to a round one. These are just standard balusters that are set up. You can make your own balusters as well later.
Can't you decide how many, or is it just the distance from previous?
It's the distance from previous, because that usually has to do with the building regulations. In Denmark, if you're making you can't have a space more than 120 millimeters between balusters, because children will just dive through them.
Yeah.
Where I come from in Ireland, it's 100 millimeters, so obviously children in Denmark have much bigger heads or something.
But say you don't want any handles, you can't have that in Denmark? Anything, balances?
Well, you need to have something, because otherwise the rails won't stand up. Oh, but you can just delete it. If you don't want anything at all, you can just delete it.
Yeah, I know. But
Yeah.
can you do that in real life?
If
You must be able to, if you say the baluster. Attached to the wall.
yeah, it just attached to the wall is kind of what you mean. No?
So if you wanted to, you
Yeah.
could build a stair in the middle of the room, then you have any handles.
You could, but you'd be breaking the law.
Okay, weird.
Okay, so let's just go a little bit further with this. So let's take another one over here. And this time around, I'm going to do a dogleg stairs, which is the stairs that goes up, turns around, and comes back on itself, like in every public building you've ever been in. So I'm going to go into stairs by sketch. I'm just going to save that. And I'm going to make a new run. And I'm going to draw it from here. And I'm going to go up 10 risers and stop it. And I'm going to take a line. You can see the way it automatically gives an indication as to where the parallel is. You can actually use that to judge where you're going to start your steps again. So I'm going to draw it coming exactly back the same direction. So you get something like that. Will I do that again?
Which one did you pick? I didn't pick by run, did you?
Yeah, run. Yeah. Here, I'll do it again. Wait a second. Okay, just going to pick a run. I'm going to start drawing here, but I'm counting at the bottom where it's telling us how many risers it's drawing as we're going up. So it's up to 7. So let me go up to 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to stop there. Then I'm going to take a line directly across from the top of where I drew it and draw it back the other direction, like that. And it fills in the landing in between. So if I go over here, we can see the sketch on the floor looks something like that. So if I accept that, it makes the stairs like this. Okay? Everybody with me? You're also sleepy. The other class is much, much more alive this time of the morning. All right, so now I want to modify it. So let's say I want to make this circular at the edge. First of all, I'm going to select the stairs, and I'm going to change it to the same type of stairs we've just made over here. So all you need to do, once we've done all the work on this stairs, I can select it. I can come over here and just switch it to the stringer stairs that we've modified. And now the stairs that we've made over here has turned up over here as well. And exactly as you say, the structure is missing from the underneath. I mean, it doesn't look like it can hold itself up, but that's something you need to worry about afterwards.
Sorry,
Alright.
What are you saying?
what did you do when you selected it?
You just select the stairs, and it's just like if you were select.
Made the other, okay, the same type.
Just make it the same type as the other one. That's all. And again, we can then select the handrail, and we can make that the same type as the other one, which is called test handrail. So that turns up there as well. And this one, I'm going to change that to test handrail. That turns up there as well. So now we've got something that looks like that. Okay. So that looks like a stairs from an office building. Well, kind of an upmarket office building anyway. So often this type of stairs you want to repeat across the floors. And you don't want to have to do the same work over and over again. So there is an option in the stair tool to make it repeat over as many floors as possible as you want it to. And the key to that is levels. So I'm going to go into the elevations here, and I'm just going to, like we did before, I'm just going to copy as many levels as I want. So I'm going to select the top one, and I'm going to array them, like we've done 100 times. Let's make 10 levels, and let's make it 3.2 between them. Whoops. Oh. So now we've got all these levels in there. Once we've done that, we should be able to select the stairs. And over here there's an option called multi-story top level. So at the moment it's set to no multi-story. So I can change this and set it to level 13, for example. Apply. And it always gives you that message. And then you get all the stairs drawn at the same time, because they're all exactly the same. So you can see the kind of time saver that is, because if I go and take a cross section through that, now let's take it through the steps. That basically this entire drawing has been done by the Revit tool for stairs. Okay. Anyway, it's very useful if you're doing enormous buildings. Okay. So now I'm going to go into this stairs I've just made. Let's go back into the ground floor plan again. I'm going to go into this stairs. I'm going to edit the sketch, and I'm going to put a new boundary around it. I'm going to put a curved boundary on the edge, like this. Start, end, position. Delete the old boundary. So now the stairs should be shaped like that. And if you go back to the 3D view, all the stairs are now shaped like that. So it's another time saver, so you can modify all the stairs at the same time.
How did you, sorry, I missed when you multiplied all the stairs.
Yeah, that's if you just select one of the stairs, come over here to the right, there's an option for multi-story top level, and it's by default it's set to none. So I set it to none again, they all disappear. But I can set it also to level 12, for example. Okay. Okay, I think I'll hold pause there. Okay, I'm just going to finish this off, and then I'll shut up and go away. So let's say we want to get a stairs in the house here. Oh, sorry. There's one more thing I want to do. Is that a spiral stairs? Is what you were looking at. And spiral stairs is actually exactly the same process, but instead of choosing a straight line, you just choose a curved line. So if I just go to stairs, stair by sketch, and the two options, straight or curved, and on the bottom left-hand corner here, it always tells us what you want to do. So click to enter the center of the arc, drag the radius out, and we can make it as tight or not as we want, and then we get to calculate the number of steps. Whoops. And there's a lot of stuff you could do with this, but I don't really use spiral staircases very much, so let's just try that again.
Does the stair have to be like a certain standard dimension?
Yes, but that's your architecture teaching. That's to do with the building regulations. I can't go into that here because I don't have time. Just for that, well, you could use it if it's a internal stairs in Denmark. I think it's a minimum of 800 millimeters wide, and then there's a minimum tread to walk on of 200 millimeters.
How do I do an entire circle? Or?
First of all, you give it a radius, and then you can do an entire circle all the way around, and you can see how it's drawing the
How many?
like that. And then if I accept it, yeah, it's giving us a warning.
I can it goes back. It's like 5, 4, 3, 3, 5, 4.
Yeah, you have to keep going in the same direction. Let's just see if we can get it working. Wait a second.
But like as I do it in moves.
How did you do that?
Wait a second. Let me just finish it first.
It actually. It only goes to 3 and then actually.
It depends on if you're drawing it between levels. So if I select this stairs now, I come over here and I can see it's been drawn from ground floor plan to first floor plan. But if I changed it so that it went up to roof plan, well, it'll kind of screw up the spiral staircase, but let's see what it does anyway. Yeah, it won't do it here. So it's actually, the limitation with spiral staircases is you can't draw them continuously. You always have to stop at a landing here and then draw another spiral staircase and another spiral staircase. So it'll only go between the shortest area possible. But it's something you kind of need to play with rather than getting into all the details about it. Yeah.
If you just do like a normal staircase, can you just keep on doing it, or do you have to do like 1 to each floor as well?
No, you can just use this option here, multi-story option, and it'll just continue it.
That's the no-go with the spiral.
To be honest with you, I haven't really played with spirals. You don't get much of an opportunity to use spiral staircases in reality.
You get the modify thing.
Yeah, you should be able to give it a multi-story option. Let's give it a multi-story option. 12. Okay. The problem with it is the stairs that I drew doesn't actually go up entirely up to the entire level. So you need to play with it a lot more because there's problems with the spiral staircases. You know, it has to do with the height of a human being. That when you're going up, you get to the next level, there might not be enough room to, and so on. So there are tightness issues involved, and I don't want to get into it here because it's not really that useful. All right, let's delete all this stuff. And just check I'm recording. Yeah. Okay. So let's go into the ground floor plan of the house. And I want to draw, I'm not going to follow the plan that's there. I'm just going to show you something with regards to making shafts between floors. So let's say we want to draw a straight flight between this level and the upper level. I go into stair by sketch, and I'm going to make a run from this point here, and let's just make it straight like that. So we have a stairs that looks like that. Accept it, and there's the stairs. We can use the align tool, which is this tool here, to choose where we want to put the stairs. So I'm going to say this, and then this. Now we need to do it again for this, and then this. So now the stairs is aligned against the wall there. So let's have a look at it in 3D. Let's just WT it again. Close down this one. Close down this one. And let's turn on a section box again so we can see what's happening. So there's the stairs. It's coming up through the floor. So we need to make an opening for it. And rather than spending a lot of time trying to cut out openings and so on, there is a little tool called floor shaft, or I think what it's called. Let's go to the architecture tool anyway. Over to the right here under the architecture tab, we've got 5 different openings. One by face, shaft, wall, vertical, and then dormers, which is for a roof window. Well, the one we're dealing with here is shafts, because shafts is what goes between floors, and you can make it as high as possible. But the nice thing about it is it's an object that you can move around itself, so it doesn't destroy anything, it just makes a hole, and the hole can be as high as you want it to be. So if I'm going to say shaft, I can use the drawing tools to just draw a rectangle from where we want the stair to finish. Let's just draw it from here to, let's say, 2 or 3 steps into the house. And over here we've got where we want it to be. So it starts at the ground floor plan, and we want to connect it so it finishes on the first floor plan, because we don't want it to go right through the roof. And then we accept it, and you can see that it's made an opening in the element here. But it is a editable element of its in its own regard, so I can stretch it and play with it and redefine the shape of it. Or if I delete it, it doesn't do anything to the floor. So it's an object that you can play with yourself in terms of shape, but it won't destroy your the work you've already done. It's just cutting a hole for that period of time. Some people have fallen asleep here, so I better finish off fast. Okay, so that's how you get a stairs through a floor, and basically that's it. That's all I want to talk about today. Yeah, I'm just gonna